Welcome to The Big Story, hosted by Victor. The Big Story brings you interviews with inspiring people who are killing it in various spheres of life. Get ready to learn a lot while laughing and having a good time in a relaxed environment.
Hey Esmee, how you doing?
Hi, Victor. I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm also doing great, thank you. Really nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for asking me.
Yeah. I mean, it's we were friends in school, and I'm really glad that we are still in contact now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's get this going. I know it's gonna be fun, definitely. So could you give an introduction about yourself?
Oké. Ik ben Esmee van den Berg. I'm 22 years old, living in Delft at the moment. It's also where in Holland is, so I moved to Delft for study. I'm the co-founder of Peppertree Foods, which we will talk about later. Something about me as well is that I'm half Cameroon. My mother's from Cameroon and my dad is Dutch. And being half Cameroon and half Dutch, I always wanted to combine those two heritage together in sharing my culture. So that's how, also of Peppertree Food.
Okay. When last were you at Cameroon?
Sorry?
When last did you go to Cameroon?
Oh, long time ago. When I was 13, so 9 years ago. It's really long time. But last year, it's second Christmas Day, we went to Dubai. I have an uncle living there and a niece, so
Okay.
we still had our little family holiday.
Yeah. Okay. That's really nice. I don't know. I think Cameroon shares some border with Nigeria. So yeah, maybe one of these days we could plan something. A Cameroon Nigeria trip.
Yeah, oh, that would be really nice.
Yeah. So could you tell about Peppertree and what it is?
Well, Peppertree Foods at the moment, we're trying to set up this startup. We
Yeah.
have 4 products at the moment, 2 hot sauces and 2 taste makers, like paste to cook with. And the idea is to make it a bigger brand with different cultures to share different cultures with the Dutch cuisine, because we only know little different cultures. When we say we eat foreign food, it's only food from Suriname or Thai food, but the whole continent of Africa, people forget about it. So that's why we were like, well, if we share the story of Africa first, after that we can share other stories of different cultures that are not represented yet in the Dutch food market.
Okay. Oh, great. You talked about it's a project, right?
Yeah.
So what education do you follow?
Well, I'm in my 4th year of food commerce technology, and I chose to be a food scientist, and it's also together with marketing students of with food. And in my 4th year, there is a program now that's called Jong Ondernemen, which they will help you put up a startup, and they will help you set up a good business, and hopefully it will be a great success in the future.
Okay, nice. So that means the education is kind of like gearing you to be entrepreneurs.
Yes. I'm really glad about it. In my 1st year, I was already asking, like, when are we gonna have some lessons about it, because it's really hard to start a business. It's a lot of things that you don't think about, you should consider as well. It's not just making a product and put it in the market. So with a lot of teachers, and we also have all types of help of different places. Now it's more easy, and you get the tools. You only need to make it a success yourself.
Yeah. Okay, that's really nice, because yesterday I interviewed Lucien, and Lucien is also from the school, and he spoke about the drones ADI, and so in collaboration with your study and like flying over farms and stuff like that. So that really shows that the school is really trying to improve, make its students entrepreneurs, which is, I think, really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really what you needed, because when you're still a student, people also want to help out. And now I don't have that much free time, but now you have the time to set up something, and you still have the willpower, the energy. So it's really important, if you want to do this, that you do it when you're still a student and not after.
Yeah, that's super true. Super true. Yeah. I heard that people are more likely to help students than someone who just graduated.
Yeah.
So if you're a student and you have the opportunity to go for a business, then just go for it, you know?
Yeah. And if you have good products, people will keep on buying it, even when you're not a student anymore. But saying you're a student, if it helps, it helps. And I also believe when you're still studying, you're working together with companies that are already a big name, and yeah, they give us something, but we will give something in return. It's also for our businesses really important to work very closely with students, because they're the future.
Yeah, definitely. And like the students have, you can say, the most recent technology or the most recent ideas, because they are still in the educational environment. So they have the most recent information in that sector, so that's pretty cool.
But with your study, did they help you as well? If you wanted to set up a company, did they provide also help?
Yeah, so I did aeronautical engineering, and in the fourth year, we have engineering entrepreneurship, and that was what Lucien followed. But I skipped that year because I was busy with the gas turbine minor. So I did not have to do the engineering entrepreneurship because I was doing the gas turbine minor. So I did not do it, but I know that my other friends, they could have started a business if they had the idea to do it.
If you could start over, did you want to do it afterwards, or you're still happy with the path you choose?
Yeah, I think I am, because I think I learned a lot from the gas turbine minor that I thought was I was also introduced to companies like KLM and companies in the gas turbine industry, and I like business, but I think I also the knowledge I got during that minor, I'm still making use of it right now. So I think I'm happy with, although I would like to go into a business in the future, but at the moment I'm happy with the path I took,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Awesome.
So how did you guys come up with the idea?
For my internship, I worked out my internship at Koningsvogel, and it's a company that's already there for more than 60 years, and they make Indonesian sambal, so Indonesian hot sauces. Okay. And they're a big brand, but it's a brand that nobody knows about, but everybody eats. If you look in somebody's fridge, you will see you will see something of Koningsvogel. So that was really interesting. And the owner, Glenn Scheltes, he was really helpful. He's like, well, if you're having your internship here, I will take you to all business meetings, even meetings with important clients. He was like, Esmee, come in, you have to sit here. And I was like, but why? And he was like, well, this is real life, you need to experience this as well. So you know how we talk to each other, so you can learn from it, and you learn how to talk if you're having your own business. Yeah. So they really helped me with everything. And it was a great internship. It was really a blast. And that's when the first two sauces were made. I made one with Madame Jeanette. Okay. And I made an African green paste. And these were all products of my mother recipes together with my grandmother.
Okay.
And I was like, well, these recipes are just laying here. My mother is cooking at home, but a lot of people always tell us like, we really love it. It's really nice flavor, but it's, yeah, if it's just laying there, it's just laying there.
Mm-hmm.
So from an internship, we worked out that we made it into a recipe that was easier to be put in a jar, so not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of oil on top of it, and to scale it up. And we also made some 2 other products. So yeah.
Okay. Good.
It was also really fun because the owner, he's always saying like culture is really important. And the first day of producing the pepper sauces, he was like, well, just call your mom. She should be here in the factory as well. So she was also really happy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Great. Great. You spoke about the recipe being from your mom and your grandmother, right?
Yeah.
How does family influence your food? You know, do you are you someone that really eats like a family recipe food, or you are just like fluent with food or whatever? How does culture influence the food?
Well, this internship was also really important for me on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Before, I never took the time to learn how to cook with my mom. Like never. The only thing I can make is like really good pasta and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
cannot make African foods. And I was like, well, if I'm having this trouble, if I want to eat African food, I just drive by my parents. But my
Mm-hmm.
mom was really young when she came to Holland, and she was already able to make the food she also makes today. And she
Yeah.
was like, well, I learned it from my mom. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I never took the time. And I was like, I'm sure more people never took the time to really learn how to cook food of their culture. And
Yeah.
that's why it starts rolling. Like maybe I need to make some products out of it so everybody can learn how to cook
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
African food.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also it's the same thing with me. Like in Nigeria, when I was in Nigeria, I always used to eat a lot of lovely African food. But now that I came here, it's a bit, I try to make a bit, but it's not as much as before, you know. Now I substitute with a lot of eggs and a lot of, yeah, pasta, like you said. Yeah. So if there is a way to making African food easier here, I think a lot more people would do it, you know.
Yeah, but also if you look into the supermarket, you can see more than 10 jars of pasta sauce. Why is there
Yeah.
not even 1 jar of a paste for jollof rice? Why is there nothing?
Yeah.
So that was
That's
like,
yeah.
yeah, pasta is made easy. Why is this not made
Yeah.
even easier?
Yeah, you have like 10 jars for tomato, you have 10 jars for pesto,
Yeah,
so many different sauces, but yeah, not so many for African food. And which is crazy because the Netherlands is such a multicultural country, you know,
yeah.
so many nationalities. I'm Nigerian, you're Cameroonian, so many yeah, people, you know. So
Yeah, but that's also something that always surprised me when people say we eat foreign food. It's only the food of how do I say it, of people that are living here already for a long time. But now we have the internet. You can watch all types of YouTube videos how to learn to cook. Um, and it's already normal that you can buy a red curry paste and a green curry paste and even
mm,
yellow curry paste. And
yeah,
even if those types of foods of people that are not living here for a long time are getting normal, why, yeah, again, why are we forgetting a whole continent?
yeah, yeah. That
It's
is
so strange to me.
yeah, yeah. So that also ties down to the need for the idea, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
The idea, yeah, yeah. Um, uh, so what is the base of the sauces?
The base, well, that's also a fun story. It's all with pepper, of course, onions,
Mhm.
and oil, and
Okay.
the rest are herbs and everything that makes it really nice of the, yeah, nice tasty. But
Yeah.
it's without added sugar, because I was also like, when we were trying to make the recipes, I was like, well, you cannot add sugar into an African dish. Have you
Hmm.
ever add sugar to something you
No,
eat at home?
no,
No,
definitely
it's crazy. But
no.
if you have Indonesian food, it's so normal to add sugar in it. And for us, it's more normal to have it very oily.
Yeah, you
So I
know,
was like, maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's a little bit of pudding for some Dutch people to have a lot of oil with your food, but oil is way better than sugar if you ask me.
yeah, yeah. It's do you want fats or do you want sweets?
Yeah.
It's when when I came over to the Netherlands and I saw people putting sugar in their food, I was like, that's not salt, that's sugar.
Yes, that's so true. And
That's
people
not,
add it in everything.
yeah, yeah,
I even saw just a normal recipe of pasta sauce, and they were like, add 1 tablespoon of sugar. I was like, sugar?
sugar. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're super correct on that. I mean, there needs to be representation, on all platforms, and also
Yeah,
food is something we eat. It's something we need to survive, and if having our kind of food makes it easier, and also introducing our food to the Dutch community on how amazing the food is, then I think
yeah.
yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
Well, for now, I think the issue is when people eat African food, it's more at a party or in a restaurant, and people see it for something only for those types of moments, just for the special types of moments. But it's something you can eat every day. It has a lot of vegetables in it. It's easy to add meat, but it's also with the trend of people going vegan. We eat a lot of beans. It's all full of protein. It's so easy to even make
Yeah,
it vegan.
yeah,
Why not?
yeah. That's that's true. That's true. Well, so it's
So yeah, the biggest question for now is why would you only eat it in a restaurant when it's so easy to make at home?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true, and it's not complex at all. It's the ingredients are quite basic, and you could do so much with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool. You don't have to tell me. Well, it's I know the importance of family recipes, so don't say it out. But if you can speak generally, like generalizing, what's the process of turning the onions and tomatoes and peppers into paste? What's the process?
Mm, well, it's a little bit secret, of course. I don't want to give everything away, but
Yeah.
with the paste, the main focus was putting the right amounts to make it easy that you just
Mm-hmm.
have to add 1 jar to your dish, and that you have
Mm-hmm.
all the herbs in the yeah, it's all leveled out when you add it to your rice and when you add it to your meat. I
Mm-hmm.
also make a green paste, and it's more of something that my mom learned from my grandmother, but
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any other aunties made it.
Yeah.
But it's also with a lot of herbs in it. You just have to spread it out over your fish or maybe a little bit of chicken, put it in the oven, and you're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't know the flavors yet, or if you only eat African food at a party or in a restaurant, it's really
Mm-hmm.
hard to level out those kind of flavors and all the herbs. And it's
Yeah.
way easier if you have just 1 jar and it's there's nothing. There are no funny ingredients going on. It's just the right amount of herbs
Yeah.
added
Yeah. Yeah.
and peppers, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. At the moment, what are the products that you have for sale?
Yeah, for now we have 4 products. Just like I said, we have an African Madame Jeanette sambal. So
Mm-hmm.
with Madame Jeanette, it's also yellow of color.
Yeah.
We have an African green paste. We made 2 of them really, really mild. So it's like a basic level for everybody to enjoy it. And we have 2 of the hot sauces that are more a little bit more spicy.
Yeah.
So we have the African green paste. We have an African red paste. This one is to make jollof rice.
Yeah.
And at home, we always enjoy pepper sauce with also a little bit of tomato base in it next to the meal. When my mom makes rice and stew, it's just nice to have a pepper sauce on base of tomato. So we've also made a tomato hot sauce.
Okay.
So 4 products at the moment. But yeah, what type of products do you think should be added for in the future? What are you really missing?
Well, first I'll start with food. So, in terms of food, I love crayfish. Do you know crayfish?
Yeah.
So crayfish, normally my mom used to send it over. So sometimes it's blended and sometimes it's not blended. But you can use crayfish for different things to give your food like a fishy taste, and it comes in like powder form, you know?
Yeah.
So the fish is blended into small powder, and then you can put it in your soup or in your I love to take it with eggs. So when I whisk the egg, I put a bit of it to give it like a fishy taste. And so crayfish, that's something that I'm missing.
Also, is it something like shitter?
No, shito is...
It's also have fish.
It's African. Sure, I think so.
What I was also looking into it. I thought it was pepper, a little bit of herbs, of course, oil, and then a fish powder.
Maybe. Shito it originates from Ghana.
Yeah.
So I actually, my friend Mario has been trying to get me to try shito. He's Ghanaian, but I haven't. But maybe it's like shito. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay.
but the crayfish powder, I mean, is just,
just the crayfish powder.
Just the crayfish powder.
Okay, awesome.
It's a bit brownish because when you blend it, it gets brownish. So that's what I miss. Another thing I miss is pap. So pap, well, I call it pap, but I don't know if that's the actual name. You know corn, right?
Yeah.
Corn. When you I think you grind it, corn, and it comes into like some sort of powder.
Okay, yeah.
And you put water in it, and then you sieve it, and then you squeeze it out, and then the water comes with some like little fine powder, something like that, and then
a little bit of starch.
Yeah. And then when you can save it in the freezer or in the fridge. And when you want to take pap, you put it in the pots, of course. I'm trying to see how to cook. Oh my God. Anyways, but you put it in the pots.
Yeah.
And then you put some hot water and then you mix it together, and then it's solid. It becomes just like custard.
Okay.
It becomes thick. And then you can take it with milk and sugar, and it's like it's really nice with some other things like it's really nice with so many things, like for breakfast or whatever, just something light in the morning. Like yeah.
Do you think people are also waiting on products like egusi soup?
Yes, egusi soup. Yes. How did you know that? Oh, that's nice.
I eat it at home.
Oh, right. Oh, good. Egusi soup. Yeah, you have like the small beans, and So I did not really take that so much, but I know it's something that my mom also sends to my other family. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really hard because now we have 4 products. That's awesome. I'm really proud of the products, but I'm already thinking about the future, of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, in the future, I think the biggest question is, do we want to make products that are easy for everybody to make? So also
Mm-hmm.
Dutch people, or do we want to make products for like you and I that just got out of home and we're not that yeah, we were eating it at home, but not we cannot traditionally cook it as well ourselves. Do
Yeah.
we want products for like the second generation?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's really hard because something like a goosey soup, it's great for second generation, but I think it's so hard to make like really Dutch people eat it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you think about it? How do you
Yeah.
think we should handle it in the future with African food in
I
Dutch kitchen?
I think um it's just like my housemate the other day. He he was cooking. Literally, he just cut open the packet and put it in the pot, and it was like just a full pasta with the sauce and everything. I was like, whoa, you don't even have to do anything. You just have to warm it on the fire. So I think if we can, if there is some sort of um yeah, there is some sort of way that Africans can also cook themselves, or maybe make the sauces in a semi-processed form that doesn't require all the stress and all the, because if we're being honest, African food is sometimes difficult, complex, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, if it's in some sort of way made easier, at least, or maybe in like some sort of semi form, then I think
So so like the paste of cooking, it's also like a semi form. You only need to open the jar, add it to your rice, your
yeah,
meat, vegetables, and then you're done. Something like that.
like yeah, exactly. For example, if you wanted to make like there's something we call suya in in Nigeria.
I was trying to make it, but I cannot find every ingredient in Holland.
Yeah. So it's like meats, but imagine if you had like already the paste for the meats, and you just have to bake the meats with the paste and just put it on the grill. That's super easy and super cool.
I was trying to make it, but there is some special pepper in it.
Yeah, it's called
Correct me
yaji.
if I'm wrong, like something like crocodile pepper or something,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
cannot find it here in Holland. And also the dried peanut paste, I cannot find it. I had to order some peanuts, dried peanuts from America to try to make it,
You
but
know
it
what?
wasn't
I
really
have
good.
I have my laptop here. Let me check it up.
But I was also trying to work out suya because when I was in Cameroon, I was small. I didn't eat anything. Like I didn't like fish. I was such a
Hmm.
hard kid. It was
Yeah.
also we were there for 5 weeks. I was so skinny when we came back. All this nice food, and I was like, yeah, I only want my mom's food. And
Hmm. Yeah.
so every time we went to the market, we almost every day we went out. Every time at the market, they were like, "Well, you just eat soya and you'll be fine."
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It's just like some like Indomie noodles, right?
Yeah,
It's made, it's not fully cooked, but it's made up to a level where you just need 10 minutes to finish it, you know? So
yeah,
if we can make African food like that, although African food does not is not just about the ingredients, it's also about the love
yeah.
of food. So yeah.
True.
So I think if we can make it into a semi-finished form, that will go a long way in making it popular.
Maybe I need to try one more time to make suya herbs.
You know what
Also,
we can do?
hmm?
Can do, right? You can post on your page and then tag me in
Yeah,
like a survey of what kind of African food do you miss or something, or what kind of African food do you miss, and I'll reshare it on my page.
that's awesome.
My
Yeah, good
followers
idea.
can also can also send in their answers and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's cool. Yeah.
But also, if we're already talking about what's missing, what do you think? How do you think the Netherlands and and Nigeria or Cameroon, how can we combine those two? Yeah, those two places. For me, it's so hard to find people that are from Cameroon, if we find them here, or if just talk about business. It's so hard to combine those two. How do you think we can combine those two worlds together, because we have so much to learn from each other?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think Africa has like so much potential, and
The only thing missing is the recognition.
yeah.
If they get recognized for everything that they have to offer, it will be fine. But people here are still ruined by the idea of the poor country that needs money. No. If you look at BBC Africa, and if you look at other programs, it's long. They're nowhere near that idea that people put in our minds in the 90s and the early zeros.
Exactly. That is super, super, super true. Like there is Africa has to offer now that's it's just mind-boggling. It's just the continent as a whole has really taken giant steps in the future. Giant steps forward, and I think there's so much opportunities that people can tap from, and of course Africans themselves, or the people still back home, they are doing amazing things. But also we who are here and also have like a different point of view should be encouraged to also go back and see what we can do, and also tap from the endless resources, and tap from because it's home, that's where home is.
And also, if we look at here, we still talk about emancipatie and subjects like that. But if you look at my family, my grandmother was having her own bar. I have aunties who run like great businesses. I even have an aunt. Everybody is family, but I have an aunt from Burkina Faso, and she's buying here her stuff, and she have a great business in selling things. She has a lot of shops and stores in Burkina Faso because people demand European like shoes and brands. Wait, why did it took such a long time here in Holland for women to be recognized like in the business world, where in Africa it's so normal to buy something from an auntie?
It's just like what's it called, Vlisco.
Vlisco is an amazing company
in Helmond. Like 80% of Vlisco's markets is in Africa.
When I was in Cameroon, if you're roundabout, you only see Vlisco billboards. The first time, unfortunately, my grandmother passed away a few years ago. But the first time we went to Cameroon, I was 4 years old, and the tradition. If you meet somebody, you need to give them a piece of fabric from Vlisco. And there were some old ladies sitting next to each other, and it's the first time that I saw my grandmother. I didn't know she was my grandmother. I've only talked to her at the phone. And I walked directly to her, and I know she was my grandmother. So also with the fabrics, with Vlisco, every time I think about that moment of meeting my grandma for the first time.
Okay. Wow.
Do you
that's
also
a really
something
nice.
like that?
Yeah, that's a really nice story, because also we also give fabric as gifts in Nigeria. We even like when we have like a party or we do something, we pick a fabric, and then everyone wears that type of fabric. So it's like sort of like a uniform. And it's pretty Yeah, it's pretty cool, I think, because and you can even see nowadays the culture over there is making its way to Europe, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of things are influenced by the culture back home. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's say I'm like a second generation. We make
Uh-huh.
so many big steps in African pride and being proud of who you are and proud of your heritage. The a few years ago I couldn't cook anything, and now I chose within my education to make African products. I really want to reconnect to my culture, and now I'm engaged. I'm engaged to a Dutch boy, a Dutch man. But he was like, "Well, why don't you use your second name? Why don't you use your African name? And why don't we dress up in like nice African fabric?
Yeah,
Also, like why shouldn't his suit be like an African fabric?" And because I was like, it's so silly that I was struggling for such a long time when people here are always asking about it and wondering about it because we have such a rich culture.
hmm,
And it's yeah, I want to make people aware of the rich culture that Africa has to provide.
yeah.
You too? How do you try to make it into your daily Dutch life?
So I still they're just I'm trying to acclimatize into my society because we are in Europe, whether we like it, but there are still a lot of things that I still try to take into my daily life. For example, some of the products I still use black soap. Do you know black soap?
Yeah, but my skin is way too dry for it.
Yeah, it's yeah, I know, but I still use black soap. I still use
Awesome.
shea butter
Fresh?
for my yes, yes, yes. Like I even, for example, I did the mixing because during winter I put um aboniki. Do you know aboniki?
I
It's like
wouldn't.
it's like tiger balm.
Ah, okay.
Tiger. So I do the mixing myself, and then I not so much, but just enough that it's hot, especially during cold, like going for work, like waking up by 6 in the morning, it's like -1. So I need something hot to warm me up before I go out and stuff like that. So definitely shea butter, black soap. Um, there's a special toothbrush that I use. It's called yeah, anyway, but there's a special toothbrush that's really hard. And also just in the way of dressing, like on Sundays, I like to dress up in my Nigerian attire. Um, I don't know if you've seen me wear it once. Have you? No.
Maybe when you took your diploma, I've seen some pictures.
Oh yeah, my mom, she wore the beautiful Nigerian attire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to dress up in it and uh, yeah, dress up and still use some of the products, you know. And of course,
Yeah.
when I see my friends here who are Nigerian, I try to speak either Yoruba with them, my native language, or maybe just Pidgin.
Yeah.
For example, with my friend from Ghana, we speak Pidgin, you know, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like when people hear, they're like, "What are they saying?" It's like, you know, but it's like a way of connecting back home, you know, and
Well, the funny thing is being mixed. People when they talk pidgin, or sometimes when my mom is talking into her dialect, they assume I cannot understand anything because I can only speak proper English.
Mhm.
But you have to see their faces when I'm like, well, why don't you ask it yourself? And they're like, what? You can understand. People don't assume of me that I can understand pidgin, and
Yeah,
only
yeah,
because I cannot talk back.
yeah. Great, great. But anyways, that's like some of the examples of trying to yeah, still trying to keep roots back home, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah. So the idea, right, that you had, you said you were in a group of, were like the co-founder, right? So you had other students who think about this idea with you, who are in process, who are busy with the idea with you.
Yeah, Peppertree Food is we're with 6 of us, and yeah, we have all types of different heritage. Some people grew up in a big town, other in a village. But the funny thing is, when you have the same goal in mind, and that's making making people aware of African food and representation, all those different heritage is like a perfect blend, because somebody, the one person that's really outgoing is really good in communication and social media, and the other one is perfect in putting everything you need to know about a business on paper. And so we're like a funny blend. I couldn't, I couldn't imagine myself, if I have to pick a people for this company, I would say, well, maybe, I don't know. But now we're all working together and we all have our different values and they all combine really well. It's really funny to have such a blend in the company.
Okay, but you're the only one who has ties to Africa, right?
Yeah, there's another boy, Jeroen, and he is from Suriname. So, and the rest is all Dutch, but it really works out better than I could ever imagine.
Okay, okay. And how, because I take you came up with the idea, right? How did you end up, how were you able to convince them to take to buy into the idea?
Well, I of course it was already my internship, and then we were working out product development, and we had another idea. It wasn't. It was a good idea, but it wasn't. It wasn't it. We were not all convinced of the need for the product. We weren't feeling it. And then I was like, you know what? I have these products, or I can do it later myself after I graduate, or we can work this out together. And then I told them the story about my mom, how she got here, why I make these products to learn cooking African food myself. And then some of them were like, well, if it's really spicy, I don't know, I don't really eat spicy food. But then I was like, no, it's all two of the sauces are really mild, so everybody can eat it, because I want everybody to enjoy it. And they were so I think they were so hyped of my of the energy, because they were also feeling the need for the product. It's really important that you can feel there's a real need and a real story. There are a lot of big brands that also have tried to put African food on the market, but when there's not a real story, when it's now the story is my mom and her being here in Holland, and then me not being able to cook traditional food myself. The story is good, the products are good, everything fits well together. And with a lot of products, the story doesn't combine. It doesn't combine the products, you know.
Yeah. I mean, your products should tell a story, you know, that people can connect themselves to. It's sort of like branding, you know.
Yeah. And that's also why we choose the name Peppertree. We wanted to make it a very global name, Peppertree Foods. And the story behind Peppertree Food is the tree stands for family tree, and all the roots for now are coming back to Africa, where it all started. And later, when we first put Africa on the market, we want to combine different roots, different family trees, and different heritage. And the main ingredient of everything is the pepper sauce, because almost every culture has a sauce, has products with pepper in it.
Yeah.
because pepper, the taste, the feeling you get when you eat pepper, it has a spark, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the tree first, the roots are in Africa, and then we want to put the roots in other countries that are not represented yet in being multicultural foods.
So that means you plan to start with Africa, but of course you plan to get also Asian sources
But
and
it's really important
American
to start
sources.
somewhere. And if the idea of African food is really it's really put up. If it's a strong tree,
Yeah.
you can start building side streets, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's also really important if we go to different cultures that we have real stories again. We're not gonna look on internet of sauces and trying to make it ourselves. No, we really need a real person and a real story,
Yeah.
because I only want to eat cultural food when there is a culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's very good. Nice. So, well, we spoke before this interview, I think for like an hour
Yeah.
about uh, the idea, and you told me that, well, you spoke so enthusiastically about it, and I think you guys are doing a really nice thing. I'm going to order one of the sauces this weekend. Um, but so you guys are having a lot of fun with it, but have there been struggles so far?
Well, for 6 students that are studying food commerce and technology, it's really hard to like set up a website. One of us, she had to learn how to use Illustrator for the packaging, because it's all yeah, together with Sterling, who works for Koningsvogel. It's all unique. Yeah, all the colors, the design, everything is unique about it. So
Yeah.
technology is really hard if you if you have lessons in it.
Yeah.
At first,
Yeah.
I was trying to, if I was maybe able to do it myself, but no.
No.
It's really hard. Even, yeah, it's not something you study enough about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and yeah, of course, when you're in a company, it takes some time to have everybody face going into the same direction. It's you need to have a lot of talking, a lot of sharing ideas, sharing stories before you have a good foundation. And it always takes some time to have, yeah, to build that foundation, to have everybody on the same page. And that also took some time in the beginning, but I think it works out really good.
Hey, great. And what's the biggest learning points?
Um, yeah, that you work with a lot of different people. But and the funny thing is, now we are on the same page. We have the same idea, we have the same vision, but it's still hard to work with different types of people. But that will always be a struggle. And yeah, it's just something that takes time, and you need to talk good about it. The only downhill of everything is that it's mostly by internet,
Mm-hmm.
because of we're studying at home. There's a lot of stress, so everybody, for a short amount of time, everybody was like, mm, not that chill, being in your last year of studying and having to build a startup at home, mostly by
Mm-hmm.
internet.
Yeah.
That's the real struggle. So the biggest struggle right now are also with the yeah, online communication. But
Okay.
I think that's I think you have it as well at the moment.
Yeah, it's all the same. I mean, we have technology to thank for a lot of things. For example, us having this talk through the through Zoom, but
Yeah.
communication is still so much more. Yeah, it's still so much more better. Yeah, being able to meet people one-on-one is so much more better. I mean, we've been able to talk about too many things, but I could imagine if we had this talk in your home or whatever, with drinking some tea together,
It would be way better.
would be so much more smoother and better and much more fun. Although we're having fun now, but it could have been on another level. Yeah.
Well, with studying and working, we never could have imagined being this all happening and being so much at home. So I think it's a big struggle in general. How do you cope with it? And we had our struggles because of it, because when you talk on WhatsApp, it's so different than when you're finally able to meet each other and talk to everybody, right in their face. So it's all those type of struggles.
Yeah. I think you answered my next question already, because I wanted to ask you about combining it with school, but you already gave quite some explanations about that.
But one good thing of school at the moment is every Wednesday we're able to have physical lectures, not every week, but most weeks. So we always take our time on Wednesday to, when possible, of course, go to school. And if we don't have lecture, we're gonna order like a room where we can sit with each other, and we're gonna work there. So it's also because of we had to find out, like, well, only online is not working. So this is some way of fixing it.
Okay.
But how do you fix it at the moment? You're working, you're just done with studying. Can you go to the office?
Yeah, so I'm able to work from home, but I like to go to work. I like the interaction, even though it's minimum and safely. We have to wear our masks and all of those, and what's it called? Make sure that our desks are clean before we start working and after we finish working. So there are measures that are quite safe, but I generally prefer to work on site, and on a day that I have just meetings or whatever, then I could work from home on my couch, easy. But I really need I think I need the physical push, like actually being in a work environment to work,
Yeah.
Maybe if I had a bigger house and I had like a room that I dedicate just for work, then maybe I would be able to turn in my brain that the switch in my brain that, okay, now it's time to work and now it's time for play. But when I'm at home, it feels like play all the time, and I like that. That's when I'm home, I feel comfortable and I feel happy, but when I need to work at home, then it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
What's the average price for the sauces?
The sauces are $2.75 per piece, and we're still trying to look into making another Christmas box, but like a party box with our sauces and like a little gift that reminds people of Peppertree Foods and Africa. But we're still working it out. And we, at the moment, we're still having a discount if you buy 4 of them. So of every product, if you buy 1, it's not €11, but €10. So like introduction discount.
Okay, I promise after this interview, I'm going to order immediately.
Thank you. We're still setting up the website, but it's almost done. We already made our products, like we have per sort, we have like 100 jars. So that's really good. We have 400 jars already done, being able to sell. So if the website isn't working yet, we're still ready to go to deliver. So We're
Okay.
already, if you want to order and the website isn't done yet, you can always DM us on Instagram. We're
Yeah.
all logged into
Yeah.
Instagram and it's really fast.
And that's at Peppertree, right?
Yeah, Peppertree Foods.
At Peppertree Foods. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice. I'm gonna put a link at the yeah, on the video
Oh,
so
thank you. Great.
people can see. Finally, do you have what are the future plans? Are you guys looking for investors?
Yeah, we already had a few investors. We also were, because of Jong Ondernemen, because of the program, there are, English is not that hard. They put up a system where you can sell shares. So we've already sold more than 20 shares. And at the end of January, we hope to repay everybody with a little bit of profit, but we also want to give people the opportunity to stay, to leave in the shares so we can work it out. And Jeroen is already planning on graduate on Peppertree, and it's also my plan as well. I cannot speak for the rest, but at least two of us are planning on graduating with it and add different products to the brand.
Okay. Oh wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, it was. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. When I saw what you guys were doing now, I was like, I called you immediately to set up this talk, and I'm good. I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked.
Yes, geen probleem.
Dankjewel.
Yeah, if you have any last words, that's to end the interview, then
Well, I have one question. What is your greatest advice to us to receive success with Peppertree?
that's difficult because I'm also someone who is pursuing success at the moment. And well, I can give you the advice that I got from other people, also from all the podcasts that I've been doing. And the advice that I got is that just do it, don't stop, because there might come a point where it settles down a bit and it does not seem like you guys are making sales, or you guys are not, like, it gets a bit boring at some points, but when it gets to that point, then you just have to look at how to change your strategy or whatever, because from whether we like it or not, most businesses are not successful.
Yeah.
Only see the successful businesses, but most of them are not successful. So you have to think, okay, those businesses that are not successful, why were they not successful? And that's because they maybe they stopped persevering, or they stopped trying, so I think an easy one is just don't stop. There's gonna come a difficult time, and you should expect it, but once it comes, just try to re-strategize and continue going.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I think that's a great one. Thank you.
I would try to follow the advice myself.
And as last words, please spread the words for everybody. We're ready we're ready for orders. We're ready to sell some pepper sauce.
Exactly. That would be awesome. That would be really great. Yeah. Well, it was really lovely talking with you, Esmee.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yes, I think we just hit 1 hour, exactly 1 hour, actually.
Oh, great.
So yeah, it's really, really, really great. So yeah, hopefully maybe we can meet up again with the talk in a couple of months and discuss again how things are going. And
yeah, I really like that.
Yes. Okay, Esmee.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to send a message or view more content, check our description box below for all our socials and websites. Till we meet again, bye.